When you look at Greenland on a map, it creates a strange impression. It's enormous, larger than many European countries combined. And yet, it's almost empty. Fewer than 60,000 people. Ice, rock, and ocean. So the obvious question is, how did this happen? And was this land always so difficult to live on? The first people arrived here long before the Vikings, more than 4,000 years ago. They were the ancestors of today's Inuit. They didn't try to change the land, they learned how to live with it. Hunting, moving with the ice, reading the weather. The Vikings arrived much later in the 10th century. That's when Eric the Red gave the island its name, Greenland. Maybe it was a marketing trick. Maybe the southern coast really did look greener back then. The climate at the time was milder than it is today, a period known as the medieval climate optimum. For a while, Greenland seemed to work for the Vikings. They raised livestock, built stone churches, and traded with Europe. For centuries, it looked like a permanent settlement. And then, they disappeared.
Disappearance?
Yeah.
There's no single document that explains why. But historians point to a combination of factors. The climate cooled again. Ice expanded. Trade routes weakened. Soil became exhausted.
I'm exhausted.
Exhausted?
Nearby lived the Inuit, people who relied on marine resources, wore animal skins, and built homes designed for extreme cold. The Vikings rarely adopted these practices. They tried to remain who they were. Eventually, their system stopped working, and it's one of the earliest examples of how culture and habit can outweigh adaptability. Later, Greenland came under Danish control. Not as a classic colony rich in plantations or gold, but as a remote, expensive, and difficult territory to maintain. There were no large cities, no roads connecting settlements. The economy revolved around fishing, hunting, and survival. The land itself set the rules. About 80% of Greenland is covered by ice. In some places, the ice sheet is several kilometers thick. Beneath it lies ancient rock, rich in minerals. Geologists have known for decades that Greenland holds rare earth elements, uranium and iron. But knowing something exists is very different from extracting it.
Extraction!
Imagine a mine with no road leading to it, a port that freezes over, a working season that lasts only a few months a year.
Nice.
In Greenland, economics constantly struggles against physics and often loses. For a long time, the world paid little attention. Then something changed. The Arctic began warming faster than the rest of the planet. Ice started to retreat, and what had been unreachable for generations suddenly became imaginable, at least on paper. Rare earth elements essential for smartphones, batteries, and green energy. New shipping routes, a strategic position between Europe and North America. Greenland returned to the world's attention, not as a rich land, but as an important one. And here lies the paradox. The same melting ice that reveals opportunity also threatens the very foundation of life here. Coastlines shift. Ecosystems change. Traditional ways of life come under pressure. So for Greenland, the choice isn't between wealth and poverty. It's between different kinds of futures. You can sense this in Nuuk, the island's largest city. Around 20,000 people live there. No roads connected to other towns, only planes and ships. Life there looks ordinary. Work, school, coffee. But nature is always present. Dark winters. Summers when the sun barely sets. It's a life without illusions. Perhaps that's why ideas of rapid extraction. Greenland doesn't feel like a story of a missed opportunity. It feels more like a story of limits. It reminds us that resources are only potential. Reality is always more complex. And maybe the most interesting thing about Greenland isn't what lies beneath the ice, but how it forces us to rethink what development really means.